Chicago's #1 news.
A rare sight on Lake Michigan as twin water spouts formed near the Wisconsin shore. Sirens for the tornado on water were activated. No damage or injuries, though, reported. Mike Kaplan's going to show us what causes these water spouts.
Well, let's begin with ABC7 Stacy Baca live along the lakefront. Stacy.
Ron and Kathy, the water is choppy tonight. The waves are starting to pound the shoreline here, but this is relatively calm when you consider what happened earlier today along the Wisconsin shoreline.
Joe, it's one hell of a water spout out there.
A water wonder.
I mean, it is huge. And there were two a minute ago.
Water spouts spinning off the Kenosha shoreline.
It's splitting into two again.
Two professional photographers with the Kenosha News are rolling.
I'm getting soaked, but I'm still shooting.
And capturing the rare sight.
Now, I've seen like a really wispy, small water spouts before on the lake, but nothing that size.
Such a sight, amateur photographers beam with excitement.
It was marvelous, amazing, stupendous. It was all great.
Mario Torres of Waukegan shot these pictures, storm chasing 101.
I was living out that childhood fantasy, and when you do that, I guess you ain't scared of the danger.
But the danger is real.
Today's warnings were specific, stating that there was potential for water spouts. So we had those warnings going out to mariners every 15 minutes.
Chief Petty Officer Harif says there was one report of a boat near the spouts, but a Coast Guard search turned up nothing. An astounding sight for old pros.
It was an incredible sight. I've never seen a water spout so defined in the Midwest, let alone anywhere.
And amateurs alike.
The best day off ever. You know, I could have been stuck at work and I wouldn't have been able to see it. Definitely, I feel just amazing about the whole thing.
So once again, thankfully, no damage, but really it just shows you how fast, how quick the weather can change. Just within the last minute, started drizzling out here. So that is the latest along the lakefront tonight. I'm Stacy Baca, ABC 7 News. Ron and Kathy, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Stacy. And meteorologist Mike Kaplan has been telling us this is one of the most amazing water spouts he's ever seen.
Oh. So from Mike's perspective, let's check into the Weather Center. Mike.
Really unbelievable. There are two types of water spouts. There is the non-tornadic, and then there's this kind, which is the tornadic. They're tied to actual thunderstorms. Here's a radar replay. Take a look at this. This looks as striking of a radar signature for a tornado as anything you'd see in Oklahoma in May. See this hook right there? What happened this afternoon, we had a little weak cool front coming in here, and that provided just enough of a kick upward in the atmosphere to spark these thunderstorms. And right in here, we developed rotation, which produced those two distinct water spouts, which eventually came together and made one. Generally, it was about 1 to 5 miles offshore. Haven't had any kind of an estimate of how strong those winds were, but I have never seen a water spout with that kind of diameter. It looked exactly like a regular tornado over land. Thank goodness nobody was hurt. No damage. That's the best kind of tornado in my book. New showers coming in here tonight, Ron. We'll take a look at the current radar in just a few.
All right, thanks, Mike. New for us at 10 tonight, a man is in critical condition after he was pulled from the Chicago River by crew and passengers of a sightseeing boat. We're hearing from one of the rescuers. It happened about 3:30 this afternoon near Clark Street. A passenger saw the man fall off a bridge. The boat's captain says he believes the man was in the water for 10 to 15 minutes before they could get to him.
My deckhand was able to get down with the passenger's help, was able to get down, retrieve this person, pull him up on the deck, and start checking his vitals and started doing compressions and rescue breathing.
Police say the man's in his 40s and was wearing a bicycle helmet and backpack. His name has not been released.
Late developments on the Jersey Shore tonight, where a raging fire engulfed dozens of businesses along an iconic boardwalk. Businesses that had just been rebuilt after being flattened by Superstorm Sandy. ABC 7 Cheryl Burton joining us tonight with more on this devastating blow for a community that's already been through so much. Cheryl.
And Kathy, tonight the fire is still burning out of control at this hour, but it appears to have lessened a bit. It's another setback in the recovery of the battered Jersey Shore, first by Mother Nature, now flames.
The fire engulfed Funtown and continued to burn for hours. Investigators say it was started at a popular ice cream shop on the boardwalk in Seaside Park. More than 400 firefighters battled the blaze that consumed a couple of dozen businesses.
My boss is completely devastated, right? He doesn't even know what to do. I mean, there's nothing he can do.
The boardwalk underwent major repairs earlier this year after Hurricane Sandy destroyed most of it. The casino pier was decimated by the storm, and work crews had just completed repairs before Memorial Day.
After all the effort and time and resources that we've put in to help the folks in Seaside Park and Seaside Heights rebuild, to see this going on, as I said at the top, it's just unthinkable.
The fire was swept by a strong southwest wind and jumped to adjacent structures. In a desperate attempt, fire crews used heavy machinery to tear through planks of the newly renovated portion of the boardwalk to try and stop the massive fire from spreading.
We need to have easy access to this area of the boardwalk. Anyone who comes down to this area, whether it's by car or on foot, runs the risk of impeding our ability to be able to fight this fire most efficiently.
And Governor Christie says there have been some water challenges because of damage caused by Superstorm Sandy. However, water is being drawn from a nearby bay. Now, some firefighters did suffer minor injuries from smoke inhalation and heat exhaustion. Ron, back to you in the studio.
All right, Cheryl. Police in Gary, Indiana